Very good evening, swimming fans. Welcome back here to the Brisbane Aquatic Centre, night 2 of our Hancock Prospecting swimming trials. Kurt Hansen joined by Gian Rooney, and we'll have James Magnuson along as well, G. And yeah, another big night of action coming our way. 5 big finals in that 1 hour of power. A lot to look forward to.
There certainly is. I actually can't get over how stacked some of these finals are. I'm going through my program, I'm highlighting names, and I've got some finals where every single name is highlighted. We've got a great mix of veterans, names that we know, and these new young guns emerging. So we've got some really exciting races tonight.
And a couple close to your heart as well. The 100 backstroke, and the first name that pops out, Emily Seebohm. And it kind of saw you pass the baton on to her when you kind of retired, and she took it up and aiming for a record 7th World Championship team. Like, remarkable stuff. Made her debut as a 14-year-old in Melbourne back in 2006.
I think you're being very generous saying I passed the baton. I think someone was looking after me that I retired before Emily Seebohm came along. So what is extraordinary is that if she makes the team, when she makes this team, it'll be her 7th World Championship swim team.
There's only been 18 world titles dating back to Belgrade back in the 70s. So
7th, I know. I called her
that's
the
about
old
40%.
girl.
That's about 40% of all world titles that she'd attend. So not a bad record. But what about her Brisbane Grammar teammate this morning, Minna Atherton? That was just outstanding. A PB and 8th fastest Australian all time. She's in career best form.
Absolutely, and she trains along the best.
Yep.
So those two together push each other every day in training. And as I said, that field is really, really strong. You throw Maddie Wilson in there. We've got quite a few others that can also...
Kaylee McEwen as well, off the back of her 200 IM last night.
Absolutely, win last night in the 200 IM, and her backstroke, as we know, is her strength. So I can't wait to see what these girls produce.
Women's 100 back to men's 100 back. Mitch Larkin, a statement this morning. The rest of the boys a little bit off the pace, but he wanted to get his campaign off to a good start, and it was a quick swim.
He certainly did. We have become used to expecting greatness from Mitch. Every time he gets in the water, he produces something pretty special. And I don't think tonight will be any different. He's probably got a little bit of out on his own in this field. There are a few that can step up. William Yang is already going across to World Uni Games, so had a great Australian Championships. So there's quite a few young ones coming through in this event that we need to keep an eye on, but Mitch really is looking for a time tonight.
Yeah, it's his event. Bradley Woodward there as well, probably more favoured to the 200, but he'll want to have a good 100 also. A couple other events there. That women's 100 breaststroke, we wrote all the names down. They're all in the final, but oh, you tell me who's going to win. Jess Hansen, actually, that's a bit harsh. Jess Hansen was a class above this morning, and her last 12 months, she's taken it up another level, and I think she's definitely going to be the one to beat.
I completely agree with you. She had a great swim this morning, but I write down all the PBs of the girls in the final tonight, and every single one of them is in contention. They're all just a smidgen away from each other, so it's going to take an extraordinary swim from whoever is going to stand up first.
And a lot of them have represented Australia in the past over the last 4 years, whether it be Olympics, Commonwealth Games, Worlds. They've all had a taste of it. They want to get back there, so there's only one way to go about it. Get in the top 2, get under qualifying.
Yes.
Men's 200 freestyle, and the one that everyone's going to be tuning into, the one that obviously a lot of people have come here tonight. You don't want to be biased against the other events, but when you look at a field of this magnitude, it just screams excitement.
I just can't get over when I look at all the names in this men's 200 freestyle final, and there is something to say about every single one of them. I love that Thomas Fraser-Holmes snuck into lane 8 as the old man of swimming and been out in the wilderness for a little while, making his comeback. Has swum well overseas recently. And then you've got Kyle Chalmers, the Australian champion from April, up against Elijah Whittington, who's in lane 1, who's the world junior record holder. Like, you just keep talking about names. Cam McAvoy, Mac Horton. It just keeps going. So that field, I still don't know who wins. I think every single one of them have got a chance, but it's going to be a sensational race.
Yeah, that final lap is going to be a beauty. And that women's 1500 finish off. Kia Melverton, runner-up in the 400, behind Ariane last night. She's on the team. She gets a free hit there. And her clubmate in Maddie Goff, and then Karina Lee already on the team for the open water, and then the youngster in Lani Pallister.
We've actually got 4 girls from TSS Aquatic in the women's 1500. So all squad mates, all training together under Chris Nesbitt on the Gold Coast. And so pushing each other every day at training. So tactically, this is going to be very, very interesting. But you've got some open water girls who are coming down to a pool distance. And you've got, as we said, we've got 400 swimmers stepping up to the 1500. So the fact that, Kia had a great 400 last night means that she shows she's in form. Be interesting to see where her distance legs are lying.
Can't wait. There's only one way to find out. That finals program coming up right now. And ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome to Pool Deck our technical officials for tonight's program.
Are you this mic or the green mic?
And let's meet our team for tonight's program. Our referees for this session for the men's events from Western Australia, Jackie McNamara. Our referee for the women's events from Queensland, Alan Smith. Our starters for tonight's session, our starter for the men's events from Queensland, David Gregory. And our starter for the women's events from Queensland, Steve Carsley. And we'd like to thank and welcome our technical manager for this meet from Western Australia, Kay Bolger. We now invite the technical officials to please take their seats. So we've got a special event to start us off the night. It's a club relay, and please make welcome to the pool deck. It's the 13 to 14 years 4x50 metre mixed freestyle relay. Let's meet our teams. Firstly there, Zach Conius, Chloe Parkinson, Sienna Lyons and Jack Hewitt, the Brisbane Jets, Acacia Bayside. Next up, Thomas Patterson, Chelsea Mluckler, Leah Hannum and Jackson Murphy for Redlands. There's Kyan Muir, Emma Milner, Cara Percy and Leah Jacobson for Acacia Bayside. Tom Sands, Aidan Easton, Millicent Warwicker and Alyssa Manthe for Nudgee. Lachlan Creswell, Anika O'Shea, Tara Cabaran and Alexander Ryan, Albany Creek. Yaroslav Zarkov, Alison Singh, Aurelia Gallo and Anders McAlpine, Chandler. Henry Fraser, Kitty Lowry, Sahana Narayan and Harvey Mellor for Aspley. And Victoria Double Hall, Ned Rayner, Declan Thomas and Alexandra Double Hall for St Hilda's. So your finalists here for our 13-14 years 4x50 metre mixed freestyle relay. And away we go, and our, a club community relay event, Gian, to get us underway, and exciting times for our 13, 14-year-olds in the local community, in the local clubs, to get a race here in the same pool that their stars and legends will be racing in a few minutes' time.
I'd also wonder if this is one of the first time that a lot of these kids have raced a mixed relay. We've only seen it take off internationally at the highest level in the last few years and been very well received by the swimming community. I know the Australian team members love swimming a mixed relay at those massive events, and there are Olympic medals up for grabs now. So this might be the first time that a lot of these 13 and 14-year-olds have actually raced a club mixed relay on this sort of stage.
Yeah, it's a great experience for them, and like you said, there's Olympic medals on the line in about 400 days' time in Tokyo in these mixed relays, so great opportunity there. And wow, looking really good at the moment, that Chandler team. A home pool, really getting after it. Just inside of them, Albany Creek. I'm going to have a great little battle in this third leg, just one leg remaining, so Albany Creek and Chandler. And an opportunity for these kids under lights as well, in front of a crowd. Obviously, they do most of their swimming during the daytime or in the afternoon, and it's exciting.
I also think about how amazing for all of them to be in the warm-up pool alongside some of their idols, the people that they've watched, the people that have got posters on the wall. All of a sudden, they're swimming in the lane next to you. How fabulous.
Yeah, ask for an autograph across the lane in warm-up, or maybe afterwards. But yeah, big anchor leg here from Albany Creek. Looks like going to see them take this out in lane 5, just ahead of Chandler. So down to touch, and that will be Albany Creek there, just ahead of Chandler. Looks like third out there in lane 1, that combo team, Brisbane Jets and Acacia Bayside. Well done to all our teams there, 13, 14 years in our club community relay. And nice initiative to mix the community and the kids in with our meet.
I feel like we should actually keep this somewhere, Kurt, with all these names on it. How many of these names will we be talking about in a couple of years' time?
Well, judging from the amount of talent that's coming out of Queensland at the moment, I'd say a few, and Brisbane in particular. And there you go, official results being displayed, and congratulations to all our clubs once again. Albany Creek takes the win ahead of Chandler and the Brisbane Jets and Acacia. And we can see the program there on the screen. And a big good evening to everyone watching online as well as being here at the Brisbane Aquatic Centre. I've had some great viewership, not just from throughout Australia, but plenty of interest internationally as well, especially from the US. A lot of Americans tuning in. They want to see what the Aussies are going to dish up in 5 weeks' time in Korea.
Certainly does not surprise me that everyone around the world is keeping an eye on our Aussie trials. Also because it's one of the first times that we have done the trials just 5 weeks out of the major international. So they know that everyone who is in form here should be in form at World Championships in 5 weeks' time. So very exciting to see the world interest on our Aussie kids.
Yeah, nice crowd in there as well, and it's showtime now, and our first finals. Please make welcome to Pool Deck now. It's event 6, your finalists here in the women's 100 metres backstroke. Let's meet our starters. In lane 1 for Griffith University, Jessica Unicum. In 2 for Rockingham, Holly Barrett. In lane 3 for the USC Spartans, Kaylee McEwen. In 4, representing Brisbane Grammar, Minna Atherton. In lane 5 for Brisbane Grammar, Emily Seabohm. Swimming lane 6 for Marion, Madison Wilson. In lane 7 for St Peters Western, Molly O'Callaghan. And in lane 8 for Brisbane Grammar, Talia Thornton. Present your finalists here for the women's 100 metres backstroke. Yeah, away we go. What a start this is going to be as well. And no doubt the middle lanes. Emily Seebohm, obviously the veteran, Australian record holder, looking for her 7th World Championship team. Brisbane Grammar clubmate Minna Atherton, PB this morning, 4th fastest Australian all time. 59.25 swim. And then Kaylee McEwen coming off that brilliant swim last night in the win in the 200 IMG.
Some great starts through the middle of the pool. Who's out first? There we have it. Minna again, 28.80. Great first split. PB this morning for Minna. At this stage, looking very, very strong. Watch out for where is Emily Seebohm in this race at the moment. With some work to do, but here she comes.
Yeah, McEwen having a beauty of a race out there in lane 3 as well. Seebohm's got some work to do. Atherton and McEwen, the two teenagers. And down the wall this time on the touch. It's going to be a tight one. And it looks like it will be Minna Atherton in lane 4. What a swim, 59.20. And increases that PB once again. And locks herself in there. 3rd fastest Australian in history.
Unbelievable, 59.20. Great job by Minna. So another PB, her 2nd for today, and 59.28 for Kaylee McEwen. So you saw up on the screen that Holly was 2nd, but it's Kaylee McEwen in 2nd place, 59.28. So just outside her PB, only 3/100ths of a second outside her PB. So a great swim from those girls, both under World Championship qualifying time.
So yeah, Minna Atherton books her spot on the World Championship team, automatic qualifier, and obviously in there as well. Kaylee McEwen gets another swim to go with her 200 IM that she won last night. Seebohm there in 4th, so we'll have to come back for the 200 backstroke.
Yeah.
And not a bad swim from Holly Barrett also.
Well, there you go. We knew that it was going to be a race to watch. We knew that that one was going to be quite a few girls in the mix as to who was going to take those top 2 spots. And Minna, after a heat swim and PB this morning.
Yeah, it's definitely arrived, and we'll might throw it down there to Maggie with a very happy Minna Atherton, 2 PBs in one day, and on that plane to South Korea.
Minna Atherton, what an upset. Has that had a chance to sink in yet?
Not really. I just went out, just came out tonight and to try my best. And
You made a huge statement in the heats this morning with a really fast swim. Did you feel comfortable and relaxed tonight, knowing that you could swim that fast in the morning?
yeah, I was really happy with my swim this morning, and I was really excited to give it a go. Give it a crack tonight. Sorry.
You and Emma are obviously training partners, and you do a lot of pace sets together in training every day. Did you see this coming? Were you starting to beat her a bit in training, or is this a bit of a shock?
We've both been doing a really good training block, and yeah, I was just happy to do that time tonight.
Well, you're on the plane to the World Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Minna Atherton.
Yeah, great stuff, Maggie, and what a race. Minna Atherton, 2 PBs in 2 swims, and there she is, now locks herself away, 3rd fastest Australian in history with that swim, 59.20. And yeah, another teenager on the team, it's 19 years of age. And behind the blocks now, it is the B final here for the women's 100 metres backstroke. B final underway here, the women's 100 back. So for the 8 that just missed out, or also, a couple of visitors as well. So they would have snuck in, especially Toto Wong, unattached, and obviously her time would have got her in the final, but might be seeing her, definitely next year at Olympic trials.
So 2 visitors in this field, a couple of young ones coming through as well. Also, remember that in a normal Australian Championship program, this would be a semi-final tonight. So you're looking at your top 16 fastest through from the heats to the semis.
Yeah, I like that as a B final as well for these swimmers. It gives them another race, another hit out, and kind of that race replication of what they'll see at Olympic trials next year. And you can see here Toto Wong, just 19 years of age as well, and has a nice little gap over the rest of the field there in lane 4. I think she might just hang on ahead of Kiralee Seibenhausen of Rackley, and does 102.33. You see the results there for that B final on the scoreboard. And there on the screen, if you're watching on the live stream, our B finalists there for the 100 backstroke. And ladies and gentlemen, make some noise and welcome our next final to Pool Deck. It's event 7, the men's 100 metres backstroke. Alrighty, let's meet our starters. In lane 1 for UWA West Coast, Zach Inserti. In lane 2 for the Melbourne Vic Centre, Jordan Merrilees. In lane 3 for Marion, Travis Marnie. In 4 for St Peters Western, Mitch Larkin. In lane 5 for Mingara Aquatic, Bradley Woodward. In 6 for Sydney University, William Yang. And lane 7 for Rockingham, Kevin Kalumba. And in lane 8, representing Rackley, Tom Jeffries. Present you your finalists here for the men's 100 metres backstroke. So the girls had their go in the 100 back. It's the boys' turn now. And up and going, and here well on form, and what we saw this morning and on paper, Maggie, definitely Mitch Larkin going to be tough to stop in this one.
Yeah, again, very skillful, fast off the start here tonight. As he goes down this first 50, he's already got half a body length on the rest of the field. Be interesting to see if Brad Woodward can stick with him. He's better known for his 200 backstroke, so he should finish strong down this last lap.
Yeah, not a bad first 50 there from William Yang as well, the 20-year-old out of Sydney University in lane 6. But still, you can see Larkin now a body length already. And there was a quick swim this morning by him, 53.18. He is the Commonwealth record holder at 52.11. He'd dearly love to get under 53 seconds here.
Yeah, he looks awesome here as he goes under the flags. That stroke rate stayed right up that full 100 metres.
Oh, good swim, 52.38. And you're talking, what, 27 100ths out his own Commonwealth record. So right on the money. Mitch Larkin not missing a beat in that one. We said he looks red hot this morning.
That's a huge swim tonight. He's absolutely dominated the rest of the field there. It was never in doubt. Great swim from Mitch Larkin. Like we said this morning, the consummate professional, always in good shape, always races well, very skillful, just left the rest of the field behind.
Yeah, you can see the results there. Larkin a class above and a world-class swim there from him, 52.38. And we said just 21 hundredths and change outside his own Commonwealth record. William Yang in second spot, and Bradley Woodward, not a bad swim for him, 54.61, obviously more favoured in that 200 event. And we'll throw it down to Gian, who's with a very happy Mitch Larkin.
Mitch, congratulations. That was fast. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, this morning felt really good. Dean sort of said swim at 53.1, so I was pretty happy with that. And then just tweaked some skills and a bit more easy speed tonight. And to go 52.3, I'm really happy with.
Is there any different process approaching this meet, considering it's just a trials event?
Yeah, a little bit. It's still very important. If you don't swim well here, you don't make the team. So I said to Dean, I want 15 weeks of real chunky, heavy work. And I sort of swam through that in Adelaide, and about 2 weeks ago I said to Dean, I'm ready for a rest now.
It's nice that we're putting out a good time tonight there on night 2. Booked your spot on the team and shows really good promise for the rest of the week as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pool Deck now. Your B finalists for the men's 100 metres backstroke. And away here, the B final of the men's 100 back. And of course, B finals for all our races tonight, except for that women's 1500 to finish us off. And Maggie, another chance here for some of these boys that just missed the final to get another hit out. Maybe a few frustrated that thought they should be in the big one, but they're not, and they can certainly try and get something out of this.
Yeah, great opportunity for these guys to right some wrongs that may have happened in the heats this morning. Also a great chance to race in front of the crowd tonight under the same conditions as the guys in the A final. As we see, pretty close across the board in this race, so that's good for those guys. They'll push each other to a fast time here, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Andrew Rice was out fast there, 20-year-old from Nunawading. Look at this, 3, 6, 7 across the pool, all in with a chance on these final stages. Lewis Blackburn coming good for Ravenswood there in lane 2, and then fighting back as well in 3. C-Bomb Lee of Carlisle. And on the touch, looks like will be Lewis Blackburn of Ravenswood there, is it, in lane 2? 56.42. Wow, that was a tight finish.
Tight finish right across the pool. Great swim in the outside lanes over here.
And there'll be the results there. Well, results on the screen. That was the A final. On the main screen here at the Brisbane Aquatic Centre. There you go. Lewis Blackburn takes out the B final. Seabom Lee, another one of those swimmers definitely crushing in his age group the last couple of years. And these teenagers starting to come of age. And those years in the Australian age are running out. And it's going to be time to join the big boys real soon.
Yeah, that's it. And this is probably a stepping stone to open swimming in these B finals against some other young guys. Over the next years, we'll see guys like Lewis Blackburn and Seabom Lee stepping up in the A final, I'm sure. So great experience for them tonight and good to swim a good time in front of the crowd.
Yeah, so just in a little bit of a hold here for the moment, but events still to look forward to coming up shortly. Here, Maggie, next up will be the women's 100 breaststroke, and then followed by that big one, the men's 200 freestyle, and finish the night off with the women's 1500 free. And we'll take a look at especially these next 2 events coming up, women's 100 breaststroke, men's 200 freestyle. Both fields, both stacked, and winners could come from anywhere, 1 to 8.
Yeah, 2 stacked finals tonight. We've got Australian representatives right across the pool in both events. Lanes 1 to 8, particularly in that 200 freestyle. I couldn't tell you who our top 4 are going to be that represent at the relay at the World Championships. The women's 100 breaststroke, we saw Jess Hansen set herself apart from the field a little this morning, so she'd be going into tonight's final with some confidence. But that men's 200 freestyle is wide open with Alex Graham and Kyle Chalmers leading the pack, but behind those two, it's going to be a real dogfight across the pool to see who can qualify for that 4x200 relay for the World Championships.
Yeah, Alex Graham this morning, fastest qualifier, PB for him as well. In great touch off the back of some good swimming late last year. And the way he swum his 200 as well was quite aggressive this morning, wasn't he? Went out hard and hung on. Yeah,
that is the way he swims his 200s. We saw last year at the Commonwealth Games as well. He goes out very hard, that first 100 metres. So Kyle Chalmers will be looking just to sit off his hip, take it easy that first 100 metres and really build into the race. And then we're going to see guys coming from the distance events down to the 200, like Mac, Jack McLaughlin and Elijah Winnington, who are really going to try and back end this 200. So really great match race for us to watch tonight and the fans to watch at home. It's going to be an exciting one.
And Jack McLaughlin as well off the back of that victory last night, the 400 freestyle. He's never been in better form, and his style, his stroke just looks superb.
Yeah, Jack McLaughlin's going to be full of confidence, and after having already qualified last night in the 400 freestyle, he's got nothing to lose. This is a free hit for him, so I'm sure he's going to push the pace, and he'll be really strong down that back 50. Little insider tip, I'm picking him for a medal tonight in that 200 freestyle.
Well, if they were giving away medals, that'd be good. Maybe you're picking him
top
for
3 place.
Well, you're picking him for a relay spot.
I am. I'm picking Jack for a relay spot. I really like the way he's swimming at the moment. His stroke looks great. He was very convincing in that 400 freestyle, so I'm backing him home.
Yeah, great stuff. We'll so we'll just put those results back up for that B final on the live stream. Apologies for those that have logged in. We are back up on the live stream. So it was Lewis Blackburn there of Ravenswood that took out that B final in the men's 100 back, and we'll keep the action going now. And please make welcome to pool deck your finalists here for the women's 100 metres breaststroke. Let's meet our starters in lane 1 for Griffith University, Taylor McEwen. This will be lane 2 for St Peters Western, Abby Harkin. In lane 3, representing Bond, Jenna Strosh. For Nunawading in lane 4, Jessica Hansen. Representing Griffith University in lane 5, Georgia Bowl. In lane 6 for Southport Olympic, Liston Pickett. In 7 for Pelican Waters, Tessa Wallace. And rounding out the field in lane 8 for Nunawading, Zoe Deacon. We'll present to your finalists here for the women's 100 metres breaststroke. So Wayne Racing, a very intriguing women's 100 breaststroke, 2 laps, and Jess Hansen was by far the quickest a class above in the heats this morning, but that counts for little now, and Maggie, any one of these 8 can be there, but they've got to take the title and they've got to go that time, or 106.81.
Yeah, this is as much a race against the clock as it is a race against each other. That qualifying time, 106.81. will really keep these girls honest. As we see, it's very close down the first 50. Jess Hansen just ahead on the touch.
Oh, ridiculous there at the first 50. They're so tight, 31.26. It is Hansen that leads at Georgia Bowl right there, 31.66. So too is Jenna Strosh of Bond. Not far off either. It comes down to this second and final lap, and Hansen starting to make a move now.
Yeah, Jess Hansen pulling away now, showing her class. This is going to be a really tight race for second place. Remembering the qualifying time is 106.81. So keeping an eye on that clock, see if we can get 2 girls under the qualifying time as Jess Hansen comes down to the wall now.
So Hansen looking to hang on. Would dearly love to get around that 106. Just outside at 107.06. That's still up first to touch there for her. And a little bit quicker than this morning. So just outside that automatic qualifying. And good of 2 more. So Jenna Strosh of Bond, 107.79, and Abby Harkin, St. Peter's, 107.93. Probably a little slower than what you might have expected tonight.
Yeah, a little slower. Look, that can happen when you've got a really strong field like that. The swimmers end up racing each other rather than thinking about their race or the time that they need to qualify. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Obviously, we need a breaststroker for the 4x1 IM medley relay. But whether we take 2 swimmers in this event or not, who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to leave that there. But certainly Jessica Hansen, probably what the signs she showed in the heats this morning. She's a class above the rest of the field here, and she proved it tonight.
Yeah, I think she's shown that she's worthy to take away on the team, particularly the last 12 months she's had as well. She's been performing really strongly. So hopefully she can have a stronger taper leading into the World Championships and pick up a little bit of time.
Yeah, off the back of obviously the Pan Packs last year, plenty of success, and now they're with the win and chatting to Gian, Jess Hansen.
Jess, a great swim, a solid swim, but probably not the time you're looking for, considering how fast you were this morning.
Yeah, no, not the time I was looking for. But go back to the coach, see what we can improve on, and just keep getting better.
You've had a pretty interesting preparation, been over in the US, training with world record holder Lily King. How was that?
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. She's a very talented athlete. They've got a really good bunch of breaststrokers over there, so you got to bring your A game every session, and yeah, you really learn a lot and get faster.
So it's certainly helping, as I said, great heat swim this morning, so looking forward to the rest of the week.
Yeah, still got the 200, so it's a good opportunity to swim fast.
Absolutely, just outside the qualifier tonight, so wishing you all the best for the 200 later in the week.
Thank you. Thanks. I won't take that away.
So there we go. Wasn't a bad swim from Jess Hansen. Like I said, she's the premier 100 breaststroker in the nation at the moment, and proved it there tonight, just under a second ahead of the rest of the field. And coming out to pool deck now, please make welcome. It's your B finalists here for the women's 100 breaststroke. And away we go, B final there. Off and racing. And the women's 100 breasts, and those that just missed that final just came before this morning in qualifying, and visitors as well that obviously can't race the finals here at our trials. And Jessica Eriksson there of Sweden, 25-year-old. In lane 4 in that gold cap. And much like the A final, pretty tight. They come down the first 50. And here's a good first 50 there. Michaela Smith of Nuttawading. Smith looking good out there in lane 2. And very tight for second. Maybe Eriksson of Sweden there in 4. And also Paris Vasta of Laverton, 19-year-old. Right there in lane 6. So down under the flags. Maybe Vasta might just have it. And down to touch. She will. Paris Vasta there. Nice little second 50. A teenager from Laverton, 110.59. And almost a second improvement on her swim from the heats this morning. And official results there for that B final of the women's 100 breaststroke on the scoreboard here at the Brisbane Aquatic Centre, up on screen now if you're watching online, courtesy of our live stream. So here we go, Brisbane, one of the big events of tonight's program. Make some noise and welcome your finalists for the men's 200 metres freestyle.
Making me feel old. I remember when this song came out. Bomb Funk MC. There's no one under the age of 30 that could tell you this exists.
Let's meet our contenders in lane 1, representing Bond, Elijah Winnington. In 2 for Chandler, Jack McLaughlin. For St. Peter's Western in lane 3, Clyde Lewis. Swimming lane 4, representing Bond, Alexander Graham. In 5 for Marion, Kyle Chalmers. In 6 for TSS Aquatic, Cameron McAvoy. Swimming lane 7 for the Melbourne Vic Centre, Mac Horton. And in lane 8 for Griffith University, Thomas Fraser Holmes. Present you your finalists here for the men's 200 metres freestyle. So one of the races of the night here in the water, 4 laps of the pool, men's 200 freestyle, an all-star cast G, and Alexander Graham in career best form, PB in the heats this morning. Kyle Chalmers, Olympic champ in the 100, Matt Horton, Olympic champ in the 400. McAvoy's right there. McLaughlin won the 400 last night. Oh, what a final it's going to be.
It's where do your eyes go? Let's have a look who goes out fastest. And it is Clyde Lewis, who is in great form heading in lane 3 with 24.64. So he's out fast. Always watch for Kyle. We know that he's learning to swim this 200. We know that he's the 100 freestyle Olympic champion out of Rio. But this could be his best distance given his stroke.
Yeah, Chalmers and Horton, you know they're going to come home strong, and you know Graham and Lewis are going to go out hard, and they're doing it right now as well, and being super aggressive. So they turn at the halfway mark there. Lewis still leads them, 51.36. Graham right there as well. Chalmers starting to come to the party in lane 5. Look at that battle for third at the moment. And now as they come and make their way down to this third and final turn, that fourth and final lap, it's who's got it, whatever they've got left in the tank.
I'm also keeping my eye on Mac Horton in lane 7, who is actually having a great swim out there, and we know that obviously the longer the distance, the better he gets. So he's having a great swim in lane 7. As we go around with 1 lap to swim, it's still Clyde Lewis who is out in front. Kyle Chalmers, watch him turn on the afterburners.
Oh, Clyde Lewis is having a beauty of a swim here. He's paced this nicely. Look at the afterburners coming from Chalmers now out there as well in lane 5. But these 3 have skipped away. Graham trying to hang in there as well. Chalmers starting to mount a challenge on Lewis. They come to the wall. Lewis, Chalmers, Lewis. Chalmers gets it. How did he do that? 1:45.76. Did not lead that race to the final stroke. And a fantastic swim. And just 2100s outside his own personal best. Clyde Lewis, oh, he was aggressive, so too was Graham, and they were rewarded. And Jack McLaughlin continues his fantastic form off the back of that win, the 400 last night.
What a race. We keep talking about Kyle, and Kyle is such an incredible racer. He always just keeps an eye on where everyone is, and that last 5 metres, as we said, it was just all coming like a steam train. Alexander Graham also did really well to hang on for 3rd position there, but Clyde Lewis had a great, solid swim, 1:45.88. So, again, 2 guys under the qualifying time, which is sensational news. But look at that relay. Look at that 4x2. How exciting.
Well, right there as well, obviously Matt Horton there in 5th, Thomas Fraser-Holmes in 6th spot as well, and so tight. But Chalmers gets it from Lewis, 12/100ths of a second. We said did not lead for any of that race until the final fingernail touch. So a very happy Kyle Chalmers and Clyde Lewis right there with James Magnuson on pool deck.
Here we are, the boys. What a race. Kyle, could you see Clyde that last 25 metres?
Nah, I think I was breathing to the wrong side, so couldn't see him for the whole race. I actually swim most of my races with my eyes closed, really, so kind of have a look in the last 25 and put my head down, so that's good to get him there wall first.
And Clyde, the sneaky little IM swimmer, over the side, minding his own business. Have you been focusing more on 200 freestyle training lately?
Yeah, I've done a bit more freestyle than usual lately. Happy to do it, want to be on that relay team, but secure myself an individual spot tonight, so can't be happier.
Beautiful. And Kyle, going into the World Champs, obviously you'll have a big program again. How much focus are you putting on the 200 freestyle in comparison to the 1?
I think I'm putting just as much focus, really. You know, doing the 200 is good fitness for my 100, so been doing a bit in training, done it for the last couple of years, but it'll be a good experience racing it over at Worlds this year and kind of just seeing how my program is for the week.
And Clyde's strong relay team on show after the results tonight. You looking forward to that one as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring it on.
All right, well, the boys got the 100 free and the 400 IM later in the week. I'm sure they're going to smash it. Here they are, everybody, your winners in the 200 freestyle.
Well done, boys. And yeah, congratulations there, Kyle Chalmers. Just continues to go from strength to strength. PB in the 100 freestyle at Nationals. Obviously, still the current Olympic champ from Rio. And now stepping it up to the 200. And Clyde Lewis, well, is there anything he can't do? Jack of all trades.
He's shaping up to be the Emma McKeon of the men's world in terms of, or a Mitch Larkin with 5 events. Clyde Lewis, very much so. Medal in the 400 individual medley and a bronze in the 200 at Com Games. So once again cementing himself into those individual events
And
on a national team.
Intriguing as well, two almost polar opposite 200 freestylers. Lewis went out really hard and tried to break them, and he was the aggressor, and then obviously Chalmers bided his time and then came back. So yeah, it was interesting to see that both worked out for both those swimmers, and they'll get an individual 200 there in Guangzhou in 5 weeks' time. Well, please make welcome to pool deck now your B finalists here for the men's 200 freestyle. B finalists here in the men's 200 freestyle, and I guess the highlight for this one, the class of that A final was so good, and you can't hold it against these guys for just missing, and give them another 12 months, and some of these youngsters are going to be really knocking on the door for that Olympic trials final.
Absolutely, especially when you look at Joshua Hertz in lane 4 with the 149.65. To miss the A final shows the calibre in that class in that A final tonight. So these guys, as we keep saying, looking for another swim, looking for another hit out, looking for another PB to improve on their technique, their tactics, getting out there and having another hard race. So it's good to see, because this very well could be the next lot. Some of these names definitely stepping up, looking for Olympic trials next year.
Yeah, and looking to get under 150 and as far under as they can, really, the boys at this level. Get under and then see how far you can definitely come under. Wesley Roberts there for Cook Island. And the Cook Island's there, taking it out hard, our visitor, 21-year-old. Obviously went under the 150 mark this morning as well. So those two you'd think will feature towards the end, but yeah, a great opportunity. And 12 months in any sport is such a long time, and you can either make big inroads or you can fall also. And these boys definitely in this field definitely have age on their side, and this is another part of that stepping stone towards those all-important Olympic trials next year.
So Wesley Roberts, the 21-year-old from the Cook Islands, having a great swim in lane 5 at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's going to be too strong here. And coming down under the flags that time. And sub 150, so 2 sub 150 swims in the day. And that's good effort by Roberts, who takes it out. 149.56. Joshua Hertz there just outside 150 barrier, 150.12. And so too Jacob Hansford there for St. Peter's. Right on that 150 barrier. See the results there on screen if you're watching on the live stream for that B final of the men's 200 free, or up there on the scoreboard here at the Brisbane Aquatic Centre. And ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome to Pool Deck. It's our last event of our Night 2 finals program here, the women's 1500 metres freestyle. And let's meet our starters in lane 1 for Kiwana Waters, Chloe Gabecca. Lane 2 for USC Spartans, Phoebe Hines. Lane 3 representing Noosa, Karina Lee. In 4 for TSS Aquatic, Kia Melverton. In 5 for TSS Aquatic, Madeline Goff. Swimming lane 6 for Cotton Tree, Alani Pallister. In lane 7 for TSS Aquatic, Moesha Johnson. And in lane 8 for TSS Aquatic, Bianca Crisp. Sent to your finalists here for the women's 1500 metres freestyle. So Wayne racing 30 laps of the pool, this women's 1500 freestyle. Third and last time final. We had 2 time finals this morning, but no doubt this one's going to be the quickest G. And take a look at this field. And firstly, Kia Melverton off the back of her 400 freestyle last night. Runner up to Ariane Titmus in a world-class swim and booked her flight there to Gwangju. So pressure's off her and she can really unload here. And then throw in Karina Lee, who's also on the team for the open water. And then, wow, TSS Aquatic Club Championships with 4 swimmers in there. And so too Lani Pallister as well after a solid 400 last night.
We're seeing almost a rise in women's 1500 swimming around the world because of it now being added to the Olympic program. It's always been at World Championship level, but taking it to an Olympic level means we've really seen a rise in women's 1500 times dropping across the world. Very exciting. As you said, we've got so many names in this women's 1500 that are worth speaking about. We talk about our open water swimmers coming into the pool distance event at a 1500. Karina Lee has been a stalwart of open water swimming for a long time now. And so, as is mentioned, considering now that the 1500 is an Olympic event, she wants a claim. She wants a spot on the Australian pool swimming team to go with an open water swimming spot.
The open water swimmers as well, because both herself and Nick Sloman, obviously Noosa training buddies, they've had outstanding seasons in open water, and they're a big chance there to win medals for Australia in that. And like you said, now coming back to a bit of chlorine as well.
And it plays into their training as well for the open water swimmers. They do most of their training anyway in the pool. So this helps out, and if they can just bring a little bit of speed back, we can see some exceptional times from them. But Kia Melverton, let's talk about Kia. As you mentioned, great swim last night in the 400.
Coming down to 200 here, Lani Pallister out hard and fast, 2:04.73, just ahead of Maddie Goff and Kia Melverton. Nice and close, and Lani having a big go, and I don't think anyone knows the ceiling on her and how high it can go. Just still 17 years of age, and well, obviously doing surf as well.
I was about to say, as long as we can keep her in the pool.
I think you're safe. But yeah, she had a fantastic Australian Championships. Obviously earlier this year down on the Gold Coast, and definitely a pleasure watching her in the surf and in the pool as well, but just gets better with every swim and stronger also. Still has a lot of growing to do.
That's exactly right. Very, very exciting, Lani. As I said, just want to make sure that we can keep her in pool swimming. Don't let the surf steal her. She's too exciting to let go.
It's safe, it's all good. Swimming is always a priority, that's for sure. But nice to see that you can still juggle as well a little bit, and it's probably nice for the motivation as well to mix it up at a younger age. As Alyssa goes through the 300 there, 3:08.59, Goff 3:09.71, Melverton 3:10.08, and Lee 3:11.17. And Johnson out there going well as well. Talk to us about this TSS Aquatic squad. just continues to grow, and not just a fantastic squad in the pool, but if you kind of stalk a bit on the Instagram as well, they have a lot of fun out of it.
Well, they've got such a strong squad. There are so many over so many different disciplines that are doing well on this Australian team level. So at the moment in this race, you've got Maddie Goff, you've got Kia Melverton. We actually have Moesha Johnson in lane 7 and Bianca Crisp out in lane 8, also part of that TSS Aquatic squad with Chris Nesbitt. And he's just got a great way with the swimmers up there in terms of, you've got distance swimmers, you've got Cam McAvoy that's come and joined the team as well. It is an exceptional squad that, as you said, seems to get on really well outside of the pool and push each other in training.
No ego squad.
Definitely
it's
not.
Very cruisy personalities in there. There's no alphas. Everyone seems to gel really well, and that's a big part of their success.
And it can go either way for especially Maddie Goff and Kia Melverton here in the pool today. The fact that your biggest competitor is swimming alongside of you in training, in squad, day in, day out, can go either one of two ways. That can either hurt your confidence or it can gain confidence depending how each training session goes, and it keeps you really honest. We only have to look at the 100 backstroke earlier tonight with Minna Atherton and MC Bomb. Minna has trained along her idol in M for however many years, and we've just seen a little bit of a changing of the guard. So keeps you very, very honest, knowing that, as I said, one of your greatest competitors is swimming in the lap, in the lane beside you at training every day.
A little changing, it could be the changing. A massive boil over tonight for those just tuning in as well. Minna Atherton taking out that 100 backstroke, another PB, 2 PBs in one day for her as well to put herself on the World Championship team. And here now, movement making as they approach the 500, and it is Maddie Goff, the 20-year-old from TSS. Takes up the running, 5:17.81. Still Pallister right there in second, and not too far away. Melverton as well. These three starting to clear away.
So when we talk about tactics for the 1500, there are obviously many different ways to swim this distance, this event. But most speak about descending 500s. So trying to find that rhythm in the first 500, looking to drop that and pick up the legs in the second 500, and then everyone says that it hurts no matter what you do after the 1,000-metre mark, so the last 500 is just whatever you've got left.
Yeah, I think in any distance race, you really get the feel. It's impossible to go through the entire race feeling great. At some point, you're going to hit a wall or it's going to sting a bit, and you need to work through that pain or that rhythm that you might just get out of and then get back in. And certainly there really was Goff, who finished off her 500 quite strong, and the girls, if you see, divide into the 3 500s, just in the start of their second 500 now as they turn at the 600-metre mark. And yeah, Goff looks good, and yeah, so too Melverton right there, and Pallister's not going anywhere, but after that early start, and you know that Karina Lee is only going to get better as the race goes on as well, and almost, well, definitely too short for her almost as well, as silly as that sounds, as a 1500 for someone doing the amount of work that she's doing in the pool every week.
If you look at the three girls who are in our leadership group at the moment in this race, all of them quite similar, both in stroke rate and how much they are using their legs. So no one is out there with a 6-beat kick at the moment. Everyone's just keeping that involved. It'll be interesting to see if it comes in that final 500. But at the moment, Lani Pallister, Kia Melverton, Maddie Goff, all just feeling comfortable in their stroke. No one prepared to make much of a move at this stage in the race, just keeping an eye on where each of them are, trying to swim their own race, but being very aware of who's around them.
Yeah, just feel like the girls from TSS have taken it up another notch here, and Melverton and Goff are really starting to make their move now in this second 500, and probably a bit of onus now back on the teenager in Pallister to try and respond, and Lee hanging in there in fourth spot also, but looks good out in front. Maddie Goff. And past the halfway mark, and you think about that psychologically, it past halfway and it's all downhill from here.
Absolutely. Also worth noting that a lot of our athletes have been mixing it up in their training and their preparation for this meet. Maddie Goff has actually been training with Spanish Olympic legend, Olympic champion, Mirella Belmonte, between December and April of last year and this year. So Mirella, silver medalist in this event out of Budapest in 2017. World record holder, absolutely. And as we just spoke to Jess Hansen after 100 breaststroke, been spending time with world record holder Lily King in the US, watching a lot of athletes starting to mix it up, and Maddie maybe having Kia alongside her at training, needed to break out of that mould and try something new, and who better to train alongside than the best in the business?
Yeah, just something different as well. Sometimes it's not nothing personal, but just a change of scenery it can be nice as well, and a few different ideas and a few different sets. It can really reset the motivation and make you kick again. It seems to be working a treat at the moment, and yeah, like I said, these TSS pairing really making every stroke a winner, and have certainly kicked away in this middle 500.
You'll also watch with our two leaders now how both girls breathe to the right-hand side. So when we're heading down the pool, you've got Maddie Goff being able to look at Kia Melverton. On the way home, you've got Kia looking at Maddie. So that plays into tactics as well. When you're both right-hand breathers, you know that I can keep an eye on you on one lap, and then I've got to trust that I'm doing the right thing on the other lap.
It definitely helps psychologically when you've got someone to stare at, and that it can, when you're in a dark place, and obviously for those that have really pushed themselves, it just gives you that extra couple of percent that maybe you definitely would not be able to find on your own.
I also know a lot of the distance guys love it if they're swimming in lane 4 and the underwater camera that we quite often have is tracking underneath them, because even though it is tracking off their speed, it gives them something to actually race against, measure themselves against, almost have a little internal battle with. So the fact that Maddie Goff and Kia Melverton have got each other so close here is pushing both of them to go faster in this event.
Yeah, interesting 1,000 metre mark, so 2/3 of the way through here, and it's the TSS pairing. In Goff and Melverton lead the way. Pallister still hanging on for third at the moment, just ahead of Karina Lee. And throwing back outside Moesha Johnson, and it just seems like an endless production line of distance freestylers from TSS Aquatic. Yeah, definitely looking the goods, and after that meet qualifying time, obviously Kia already on the team for that 400. And she'd dearly love, 4, 8 and 15, really, wouldn't she?
Oh,
big
absolutely.
program,
A huge program.
Be careful what you wish for when when the 1500 comes to the Olympics for the ladies.
Also got to remember that whenever we talk about women's distance swimming, you're also talking about Katie Ledecky, and the great American who has always, for the last however many years, really since London 2012 when she popped onto the scene and won her first Olympic gold medal, has just dominated women's distance swimming. We mentioned about the rise of Ariarne Titmus in the fact that I believe Ariarne is the first one to almost take it to Katie, to give her a little bit of a challenge, to make her think about whether she is as invincible as she has been in previous years. So it's very exciting times that we're starting to see the rest of the world almost look to Katie and start challenging her.
Yeah, she's had it her own way for a long time, that's for sure. And yeah, almost a once in a generation talent, and obviously the world record holder, and put on a phenomenal effort back in the Pan Packs when those were on the Gold Coast in just torrential conditions. You could almost not see the pool, and she still broke the world record. Testament to just what a machine she is. And these girls now, they can see they're on the downhill run. Exciting times, that's for sure, with 300 to swim. And what's going through the mind now, G, for these that just want to hang on and make sure they finish it off?
Just watching that Maddie has actually lifted a gear in this final 500. So Maddie feels like she's lifted her tempo. Kia has almost stayed that same stroke rate the whole way throughout, been very, very consistent. But this is almost where we talk about the pain, we talk about hurt. There is no doubting that everyone in this field is hurting at this time in the race. So it's about who wants it more, who's got enough left in the tank to just tough it out in this final 250 metres.
It's, yeah, so interesting because both these girls, obviously training partners and the rest, but they're on time as well. They're both so close. All-time bests are only hundredths of a second apart, both just under 16 minutes, and second and third fastest Australians all time. And they're very similar strokes to a certain degree as well, and they're almost right next to each other, not too far apart, coming down to these final few laps in this 1500.
Not to take away from the ladies in the pool, but nice to give a little bit of a shout out to Jessica Ashwood, who is still the Australian record holder in this event, 15:52.17. Set back in 2015. Jess retired nearly 12 months ago now. She's had surgery to correct scoliosis, an incredible scoliosis. I actually don't know how she ever made her way through a pool.
Yeah,
she has grown 7 centimetres since surgery.
Those x-rays, yeah, just incredible stuff, and just a testament to how tough she is, and I wish her the best. But now bell lap, well, how tough are these girls, and how good is that noise for them?
Who would have thought a bell could sound so sweet?
Well, lunchtime or final 100.
We're seeing both girls now, 6-beat kick. So throwing everything at this final 100 metres. Again, we talk about that Maddie Go has the ability now to look down this pool and see where Kia is. However, it will be Kia on the final lap.
Yeah, so impressed with Maddie Goff here, and just got that sense towards the end of that last 500 that she was really up for it tonight, and she stepped it up, that's for sure. And now you can see Melverton trying to push back over this final lap, and like you said, you can't see her on not breathing to that side, so Melverton can see the work that she has to do against Goff to try and come home over the top, and here she goes now. So they're both pushing. Melverton at last gasp. Goff to hang on, the touch. Goff holds on, just 7 100ths. 15:56.39. Great swim by both these girls. PBs for both of them as well. And again, second and third fastest Australians in history. So exactly what they were after here tonight, and they both delivered.
What a sensational race. It still amazes me that we can swim 1,500 metres and it comes down to a sprint finish at the end. So Kia with the win at the Australian Championships in April. This time, it's Maddie that's pipping her at the post. So 15:56.39 for Maddie Goff, 15:56.46 for Kia Melverton. And sneaking into third, Lani Pallister, 16:06.84.
Yeah, great result for them, that's for sure. And Karina Lee there in fourth, 16:08.21, and a lifetime best for both of them in that one. They drop another 2 seconds off their PB, and now that Australian record's only 4 seconds away, and it's just about making those little inroads, and eventually you get there as a few more of our girls just finishing off their race. Chloe Gebecka on the outside there. Well done to her, but it's a night for the TSS pairing. Maddie Goff and Kia Melverton. And so Melverton grabs her second swim in Gwangju to join the 400. She'll do the 1500 as well, and Maddie Goff on the plane there to South Korea also.
And as we keep mentioning, the fact that the two of them will continue to push each other in every day in training, every time they get up and race, it is so much harder to do it out on your own and try and chase the time. It's so much better to be able to do it when someone's pushing you alongside. So the fact that those two girls have each other is great news for Australian swimming as well as the two of them.
Well, it's definitely working for them, that's for sure. And we'll throw it down to Maggie very shortly. He's got Kia there, and I'm sure Maddie Goff won't be too far away either, but he said almost 16 minutes of racing and separated by 7 100ths of a second. This pair, They're so tight in everything they do, and a fantastic result for both of them in the TSS club.
I'm here with Maddie and Kia, both qualified for the World Championships. Maddie, to you first. You guys train together. How many times have you simulated that race situation, and do you beat Kia in training?
I don't know, we usually are pretty close, but Kia usually comes back really strong, so she's really good at the back end.
And Kia, Maddie was breathing the other way that last 25 metres. It looked like she couldn't see you. Did you think you could sneak up and grab her on the wall?
I mean, that was the plan, but she got her hand on the wall first, so credit to her. It's good.
A PB for both of you. How have your training times been leading into this? Were you expecting to go sub 16 minutes? Because that's obviously world-class time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I was hoping to. Yeah, that was the goal.
That's awesome. Now, you two training together, leading into the World Champs, going to push each other. Is it going to get awkward in training at all?
No, not really. I think we both know that having each other makes such a difference, and it's obviously helped our swimming and pushed both of us, yeah.
Well, great job tonight. You've booked your ticket to the World Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, your 800 freestyle winners.
And 1500 as well, Maggie. Good one. It's been a big night for him on pool deck, but we thank Maggie for the interviews, and congratulations to that TSS pairing. Maddie Goff, Kia Melverton, personal best times, and again qualifying for the World Champs. He couldn't ask for much more. Another great night of action, and set to continue tomorrow for day 3. Tomorrow morning, more qualifiers coming up from 10 a.m.
We've seen an interesting night on the program tonight, and that's the thing about World Championship trials. Every single race that we see throws up differences, exciting components, some disappointments. Hopefully we've got more excitements coming our way in the next week.
Oh, it's going to be huge. So plenty of highlights tonight. Obviously, Minna Atherton, that fantastic swim in the 100 backstroke. Mitch Larkin just off his Commonwealth record in the 100 back. Jess Hansen class above in the 100 breaststroke. What a final it was. The 200 freestyle, and a fantastic fingernail finish victory to Kyle Chalmers ahead of Clyde Lewis and Alexander Graham. And then, of course, there in that 1500 freestyle, the TSS pairing of Maddie Goff and Kia Melverton making it onto the Australian team. So on behalf of all of Swimming Australia, I hope you enjoyed the action here for night 2 of our Hancock Prospecting Swimming Trials. And on behalf of the team, Gian Rooney and James Magnuson, I'm Code Hansen. I hope you enjoyed the coverage and look forward to you joining us again tomorrow for day 3 of competition. And we'd like to thank our technical officials for their efforts throughout tonight's finals program, and we now invite them to leave from pool deck.